ball pops loose, and Maple Grove's going to have it.
Right out in front, they score! Welcome to Sports Jam. I'm Jay Wilcox.
And I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in. It's a busy show again this week with highlights from swimming, basketball, and hockey. Plus, we'll talk with the Maple Grove girls hockey team about their unbeaten start to the season.
And in our Sports Jam Spotlight, meet two Armstrong senior boys basketball players who are good on the court and in front of a microphone. And we'll get started with boys hoops and highlights from one of the 15 games played Saturday at the 11th Annual Breakdown Sports Tip-Off Classic. The event showcases many of the state's top players and teams. One of those games featured Maple Grove facing perennial 4A power Hopkins. Brad Davison throws it up. Reed Nicko slams it home for Maple Grove. Then Davison penetrates and kicks it out to Jack Hutchison for the baseline three-pointer. The final seconds of the first half, Davison drives and scores, and the Crimson lead by 16 at the break, 45-29. The Royals chip away, though. John Warren nails the three for Hopkins. And Vincent Shahid gets red hot for the Royals. His three from the top of the key rattles in. A few minutes later, Shahid with a catch-and-shoot three-pointer for Ken Novak's club. That cuts the Crimson lead to 62-61. But Maple Grove doesn't fold. Davison drives, and he'll hit a crazy shot here, plus a foul. He scores 30 points. The Crimson beat the Royals 75-69.
Also at the Breakdown Classic, Champlin Park stays unbeaten with a close 65-62 win over Creighton-Durham Hall. JT Gibson had 21 points in the win for the Rebels. Armstrong also stays unbeaten with an 81-73 victory over Roseville, behind 25 points from Sean Burns. We'll meet Burns and Evan Nolan later in our Sports Jam Spotlight. Benilde falls to Simley, 79-57. Jack Stensgaard poured in 33 for the Spartans. Breck pulls out a 78-73 win over Redwood Valley. Will Culleton led the Mustangs with 28 points in the win. Gee, that has really turned out to be quite an event. It started 11 years ago with 4 teams, one day. It's still one day, but now 2 weekends, girls and the boys, but 15 games in all from sunup to sundown in Minnetonka.
Well, a great chance for everybody to see these players and teams that maybe you hear about but don't get a chance to see a lot. But I also think it helps the teams because it's kind of a pressure atmosphere more so than just a regular season game. And you know you have to bring your A game because you're going to be playing a good opponent. I think it'll help the teams, even the ones that didn't come out on the winning end that day. Well, now to girls basketball, Champlin Park was 1 game short of reaching the state tournament last season. The Rebels faced another strong team, Minnetonka, on Friday. The Rebels work it around to Casey Tomasak, and she drains the three-pointer here. Hannah Krimble is double teamed down low, but still gets the basket on this one for Champlin Park. And it's Allison Garrett with a nice drive to the hoop for 2. The Rebels lead at 28-22 at halftime. But Minnetonka starts the second half on an 11-2 run. Courtney Frederickson's putback gives the Skippers the lead, 32-30. Champlin Park regroups, though. Garrett with a long pass to Megan Whitty, and she puts it in for a 37-34 Rebels lead. Then it's Rebels freshman Erica Hicks driving hard to the basket for the hoop and the foul on this one. Krimble with a nice spin move in the paint for 2 more, but Tonka ties this one up late, and we go to overtime. Hicks hits a pair of free throws late in OT for a 57-53 lead, and it's a good thing because Caroline Shellquist hits a 3 at the buzzer for the Skippers, but they're still 1 short. Champlin Park wins 57-56. Park Center's girls basketball team won section and state titles in Class 3A last season, but they were not conference champs. The Pirates finished 1 game behind Centennial, a state entrant in Class 4A in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Those teams met up in a thriller in Brooklyn Park. The Cougars build an early lead. J.C. Girding with the dribble drive from the wing into the paint for 2. That puts Centennial up 13-6. Park Center battles back. And Simonette misses from the corner, but Michaela Hayes is there for the rebound and putback, plus a foul. The Pirates trail it by 4 at this point. The Cougars go on a 12-3 run, capped by a nice pass from Laura Gallup into Bridget Bolcom on the block. She scores. It's 37-24 Centennial. Park Center cuts into the lead before halftime. Hayes scores 2 more of her 19. The Pirates are down 6 at the half. Park Center takes the lead in the second half. Danielle Schaub misses, but her older sister Hannah gets the rebound and scores on the reverse. It's 41-40 Park Center. Park Center keeps a slim lead for most of the second half. Danielle Schaub with the assist on this Hayes bucket. That makes it 56-54 Pirates. But Sydnee Stapleton grabs an offensive rebound off a missed shot, and she'll float in a short jumper, tying the game at 60, and the teams go to overtime. In OT, Park Center is up 1, but Lexi Matthews drains a huge 3 for Centennial to put them in the lead. The Cougars hand the Pirates their first loss of the season. 69-68 is the final.
Maple Grove's girls basketball team got off to a good start in its first week of games. Crimson hosted Blaine last week. Defense leads to points here. Julie Haggard tips the pass, and it's Grace Jensen to Caroline Griffith for the layup, and it's a 10-2 Crimson lead. Haley Barker knocks down a three-pointer, and Maple Grove is up 17-6. More active hands on defense for Maple Grove. Allie Schmidt gets the steal, then takes the pass back from Barker for an easy 2. The Crimson lead by 9 at halftime. Coach Mark Cook's Crimson build on that lead in the second half. Mary Eckberg with a 3 from the corner. She's one of 4 Crimson to score in double figures. Mackenzie Barta leads all players with 24 points. The assist to Eckberg. Crimson wins 72-48. We'll have more basketball later in the show. High school boys swimming and diving season started last Thursday for most local teams, including Northwest Suburban Conference teams. Champlain Park and Osseo meeting up in a dual meet. Highlights from this one in the 200-yard medley relay. The Osseo team of Jonah Smith, Kyle Peterson, Jacob Rear, and Joseph Nelson win in a time of 1 minute, 48.2 seconds. 200-yard freestyle. It's Smith getting an individual win. Takes first in 204.1. Champlain Park's Casey Carlson and John Hartland finish second and third. 200-yard individual medley. Champlain Park's Christian Magalhaes wins easily, 15 seconds ahead of the race runner-up. His time, 2 minutes, 13.76 seconds. And in the 50 freestyle, it's Rear of Osseo out-touching Champlain Park's Max Baumgartner by a quarter of a second to win in 23.22 seconds. Champlain Park wins the meet. They edge Osseo 91-83.
That looked like a good meet, John. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was a good way to start the season. A lot of good teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference. We'll see how Maple Grove, one team that we talked about last week, fares in that conference this season. Next up on Sports Jam, we'll hit the ice for hockey highlights, and later we'll hear from the fast-starting Maple Grove girls hockey team. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sports Jam.
And time to talk hockey. The Osseo boys have had a couple of tough seasons in a row, but the Orioles are off to a pretty decent start this season. Saturday night, though, a rough one for the Orioles as they hosted Spring Lake Park. Nice passing play here. Jacob Nystrom to Devin Sonnell to Noah Borman for the goal, and a 2-0 Panthers lead just over 3 minutes into the game. Then Connor Gagnon sets up Nystrom for the nice backhander. That one makes it 3-0 Spring Lake Park. A little give and go here. It's Nystrom to Gagnon, back to Nystrom. That's the 5th goal of the first period for Spring Lake Park. The Orioles do finally get on the board here as the rebound will come to number 16, Rudy Alexander, who scores, and it's a 5-1 contest. More Panthers, though, in the second period. The Orioles turn it over in their own end, and Sonnell scores on the short side. That goal makes it 8-1 Spring Lake Park. Mason Hodala scores a power play goal for the first of his 2 goals of the night, but it's not nearly enough. The Orioles are now 3-3 following their 11-3 loss to the Panthers.
Their basketball teams usually get all of the highlights and the headlines, but the boys hockey team at Hopkins is off to a very good start in non-conference play. The Royals hosted Armstrong Cooper last week. Nathan Nelson of Hopkins takes the pass, gets it ahead to Webb Bolstead, slides it across to Josh Lavin for the one-timer. A power play goal to make it 2-0 Royals after 1 period. In the second, Armstrong Cooper gets on the board after a scramble. Defenseman William Lawson sees an opportunity, and he pounces, burying it, and the Wings pull within 2-1. Hopkins looking to add to the lead, but Keegan Odell makes a nice stop, and the Royals rush, stays 2-1 through 2 periods. Hopkins gets an insurance goal after an Armstrong Cooper turnover. Lemon scores for a 3-1 lead. That's the final. Hopkins is now 7-1 on the season.
In girls hockey, Maple Grove won its first 10 games of the season. The second-ranked Crimson looked for a good test from last season's state AA runner-up, Benilde St. Margaret's. Maple Grove dominates the first period, but Anna DiGiulio has a great game in goal for the Red Knights. Rob Potter's Crimson will break through as Haley Herdine feeds Abby Larson for the wrist shot in close. It's 1-0 Maple Grove. Benilde, though, answers with a shot from the wing as Grace Peluso goes stick side to beat Brianna Blessy. It's 1-1 after one, despite a 16-3 edge in shots for the Crimson. Second period, the Red Knights take the lead. Sydnee Simone's backhander crawls up over Blessy and it rolls in. Simone gets credit for the goal. It's 2-1 BSM through two. Just when it looks like Maple Grove might take its first loss, they strike late. Lauren Kaufman across to Katie Denicky for the quick shot. That ties it 2-2 with exactly 1 minute left in regulation. Maple Grove gets a chance in overtime, but they can't beat DiGiulio. The team skate to a 2-2 tie, and we'll hear from the Crimson coming up later in the show.
Champlain Park won its first section title in gymnastics last season. Saturday, the Rebels fared well on their annual invitational meet. The Rebels scored 135.15 points to win their 8-team event featuring all Northwest Suburban Conference teams. Maple Grove was second with 133.375. Park Center finished third. The combined Blaine Andover team was fourth. Osseo finished eighth. Taylor Gakeen of Champlain Park was the meet medalist with an all-around score of 35.3.
Now back to basketball, where the Cooper boys opened the season with 4 losses, all to ranked teams. The Hawks looking to get in the winning column against Columbia Heights. Anthony Eagle draws the defense to him and sets up Melvin Newbern for the floater. Newbern scores 15 in the first half. Columbia Heights struggles against Cooper's press, but not this time. Jarrett Baptiste finishing the alley-oop. Teron Pickford gets to the hoop with a nice crossover move as Cooper starts to take control of this one. And Adrian Jackson steps in front of the dribbler to get the steal. He sets up Newbern for the jam. Newbern totals 20 for the game. Steve Burton's Hawks lead 41-29 at halftime. Second half, and Jason Edwards dribbles left and nails the pull-up jumper, and it's a 14-point Hawks lead. In transition, Pickford with a tough reverse layup here. He scores 22 to lead Cooper. The Highlanders can feel this one slipping away. Jackson has a big second half and scores 18 total. Cooper wins 98-68. Their pressure defense was a key.
Yeah, we did a very good job with 13 steals or something like that. In the first half, we did a very good job. And talking on defense, that's what we do every day in practice. But we did a very good job.
In the girls' game between those schools, Cooper new head coach Kiara Buford and her staff looking to get the Hawks girls their second win of the season. Asia Wheeler scoring and is fouled. The Hawks are up 15-10 on Heights. Later, it's Jahai Gaston drilling a long two-pointer to put Cooper up by 7. Good transition hoop for the Hawks and UU Longs. Her shot rolls around and in, and Cooper is up by 10. The Highlanders put together a little run at the end of the first half and early into the second half. Do a good job of working the ball inside here to Emily Sheets. Columbia Heights takes a 1-point lead, 32-31. Abby Bourne passes to a wide-open Rashana Thomas for a 3-ball as the Highlanders keep it close. But Cooper is the better team this night. Nice hoop, Longs here to Micaiah Harvey for the basket and foul. Cooper wins 70-63, and they improve to 2-4 on the season. Early last week, number 7 in Class 3A, Benilde St. Margaret's tipped off against the third-ranked team in 1A, Maranatha. Great start for BSM in transition. Sydnee Liebel to Abby Wilgers for 2 and an 8-0 Red Knights lead. Daria Jackson-Sherrod drives for 2 of her 22 points. Benilde jumps out to a 20-0 lead. Maranatha finally starts to get on track. Elena Jarnot for 3 to get the Mustangs back to within 12. Benilde, though, extends its lead before halftime. Gretchen Sattler with driving and scoring 2 of her 26. Red Knights are up 18 at the half. Second half, Lexi Lee drains a long 3-pointer for Maranatha. She scores 27 points in the game. Lee then will step in for a steal and passes ahead to Jarnot for 2 of her game-high 30 points. The Mustangs are within 9. But the early 20-point deficit is too much to overcome. Solid game for Benilde St. Margaret's, and they win it 99-85. to 83. Scoreboard operator busy at that one.
Yeah, it's tough to overcome a 20-0 deficit, even in a game with that much offense. You just feel like you're fighting back uphill all night. Straight ahead in our Sports Jam Spotlight, meet two seniors who have helped return the Armstrong boys basketball program to a high level. Welcome back. They've had a couple of close calls, but the Armstrong boys basketball team is still unbeaten entering the week. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet two seniors who have helped to lead a resurgence for Falcons basketball. Burns Nolan, or Nolan Burns. It's not a law firm, but instead a veteran duo that leads the Armstrong boys basketball team. Senior center Sean Burns and wing player Evan Nolan are key contributors to a very good team.
They bring a lot of leadership, very mature guys. They're both good students, hardworking guys. So, and they're just fun guys to be around.
They bring a lot of energy. They're always positive, good guys, on and off the court, fun to play with. Love practicing with them. Just good teammates.
Nolan's in his 4th year on the varsity, while Burns is in his 3rd season. Both were all-conference picks last season, and each has the potential to play college ball. Their games are quite different, but both effective.
I feel like I'm good at rebounding, talking to the guys, try to lead by example, send a spark, try to help the guys out. I feel like I need to work on, staying more focused, because sometimes when things are not going my way, I can get a little down. But, I got to overcome that. That's throughout life, so.
Sean makes the team laugh all the time. It's good to have him on the team. He rebounds well, passes, he can score. He's really aggressive. He's also another leader on this team that we have. He's a really good player.
I think I'm labeled as a shooter from my team and scouting reports for others. And I think you can always get better at defense and ball handling, and I've been working hard on that as well.
Evan's a really good shooter. He can also get to the basket. He's a good pump fake, but he knocks down like every three.
Evan and Sean definitely have a lot of respect for each other's games, too.
Great rebounder, strong, physical guy, very athletic, and always positive, good leader, great guy.
I love Ev, man. He's a smart kid. He's fun to play with. He's a great shooter. I can always count on Ev to hit the big shot. So if I ever had to kick it out to Ev for a big play, I can trust him on my heart,
There's a lot of talent beyond Burns and Nolan on this team, and the internal and external expectations are high this season. But being ranked high, especially at this point in the season, can't be the focal point.
It's a great thing, but we can't settle and be comfortable. That's the one thing Miller don't want us to do. And we just got to keep going at every practice, like I said last time. And every team is going to come at us to try to beat us. So every game is like a championship game. So it's very important for us to always come out and play at a high intensity.
Too many good players who can score can sometimes spell trouble. After all, there's only one basketball. Don't expect that to be a problem with this team.
The Andover game where we scored 100, I believe 5 of us were in double figures, and selfishness is really not a part of our team this year. On any given night, a guy can go for 20 points, and that's fine by any of us.
Armstrong's been in the state boys basketball tournament 5 times, the last time a runner-up finish in 2007. The players noticed the banners, and Nolan says he's not too young to remember that special season.
No, not at all. I was actually at that game. Yep. Seeing the guys there and seeing the students section, just the sport around the whole city is incredible, and it's been a goal of ours since 6th grade.
A couple of guys in school at gym class always tell us it should be a 15 up there. So, hopefully we can do that, and that'd be great. That'd be really special for us to be able to do that for this program.
Sean Burns leads the Falcons with an average of 18.2 points and 7.8 rebounds. Evan Nolan is averaging 11.7 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And third veteran Jerome Dixon is now back from an injury and scored 18 points in Saturday's win over Roseville. John talks hockey with the second-ranked Maple Grove girls when Sports Jam returns.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. The Maple Grove girls hockey team enters the week with just one tie on the season. They are 10-0-1 coming into play. And they join us now on the show, and we'll start with Claire McLean. And Claire, this first 11 games has been outstanding for your team. Tell me about your team's overall play.
We've been playing really strong. We've all been playing together. We're a really deep team, so that helps. You don't have to worry about other people not getting the job done. I have faith in the whole team that we can get the job done.
How much does that make a difference, that knowing that there's a lot of girls that can pick up if somebody's having an off night or an off shift?
It just makes you feel more positive. If you're down, you can just get back in it like we have before. And I think it just helps everybody like calm down. You don't have to be so worried about like making a mistake, because then you can just get back out there again and play harder.
Looking at your scores outside of the first game of the year when you gave up 3 goals, this team has not allowed more than 2 goals any game. How good is the defense and the goaltending been for you guys?
Our goaltending is unreal. It's crazy to have 2 sophomores be as good as they are. And our defensive play, I think if we do our jobs, which we have been, we shut other teams down. So as long as we do our jobs, it works out great.
Your last game was against Benilde St. Margaret's, a tie against them. That's a team that, along with Minnetonka, has been kind of the cream of the crop in Section 6. I know you guys felt you could have won that game, but how important was it to play well against a quality team like that, knowing you may face them again down the line?
It was a big game. I mean, I wish we could have pulled out a win, but the fact that we came back with the 1 minute left was a big character test. And I mean, it obviously matters, but it's more what happens at the end of the year, and I totally think we can beat them the next time we play them. So that's good to know.
Clark, good start to the season. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Sydnee Hanson, your team's play has been very good, as we were talking about with Claire. What has been the one thing that you can say has improved the most since last season?
Improved the most since last season. I think everybody shows up to work really hard and know that we want to get better, and Rob always pushes us to our best potential. And I think that's huge, and I think everyone just really wants it this year, and I think we can do great things with that.
Win after win, is this team getting more confident as each game goes on?
I think so, and I think that throughout the season, like confidence, like you said, is going up, and I think just we all have confidence in ourselves and what we're doing, and Rob really shows us how to be good players, so we have confidence in ourselves and we go out there and get the job done.
You talk about season end goals yet, like conference championships and section championships?
Oh, we definitely have, but we try to take it one day at a time.
You got some time off now, other than the game Tuesday against North Metro. You're off for a couple weeks till the end of the year tournament. How much do you guys enjoy just kind of have a little break in games now and maybe work on some things here in practice?
It's definitely huge to have a break and kind of like reschedule and like regroup and rest a little bit, but we'll definitely be on the ice getting better and getting prepared for a tournament.
Finally, what do you think needs to improve for this team to make the next step to be a state tournament team come late February?
You know, I think that we just need to listen to Coach Rob, and he definitely knows what he's doing, and trust in the fact that he is a great coach, and we all know that, and I think we just need to keep listening to what he's telling us to do, and we'll be great.
Sydnee, thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Good start for Maple Grove girls hockey. 10-0-1 on the year coming into play this week. They'll take on North Metro Tuesday, and then they'll be in a tournament December 29th through the 31st at Edina. We'll take a break and come back and wrap up Sports Jam after this timeout. First, our plays of the week.
Like he was going to go to his left and set behind his back, and great hands too by Jeremiah Hanson.
Our game of the week is a big one in Northwest Suburban Conference boys basketball as Armstrong visits Maple Grove. Watch it live Friday night at 7 on Channel 12 and 12.tv, or catch the replays Saturday at 7 and 10 p.m. or Sunday morning at 10. And that'll do it for this week's show.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on Sports Jam.